Hey guys, it's Matt. I shot this soon-to-be award-winning footage out my bedroom window yesterday of this wasp-like thing stuck between the window. I can't let him out like I do the mosquitoes because there's a window air conditioner. I can't remove the window air conditioner. All he has to do is go down a bit and there's a way out. The point is, I've wanted to make this video for a long time, and I have talked about ticks a little bit in this way. Insects do the impossible. They do things that defy what should be possible on this place called Earth. I think the knot milk knows exactly what these things are, how they can do what they do, why they do what they do. I think the knot milk knows 1,000 things, a million things they don't really share with us. But this thing, it's been 9 days, I believe, 8 or 9 days. It's been buzzing and trying to get out, moving around constantly. So I think what I've thought about ticks and other things that go months and months without eating, or what's it drinking? What's it eating? How does it have the energy to keep buzzing and trying to get out and moving around? I appreciate its desire to be free. I mean, by the way, I cannot remove the window air conditioner just to let this thing out. If he goes down, he can get out. I'm like, come on down here. I'm like, I'm sorry. I observe this every day. And where's he getting he doesn't eat. He doesn't drink. He's got no Gatorade in there. He's got no energy drinks. How does he have the energy to do this for 9 days straight? How long will it go on? I'll continue to observe. I'll report back to you. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We've talked about the ticks last fall. These little deer ticks. And first of all, they didn't exist. The deer ticks that carry Lyme didn't exist when I grew up running through high grasses and bushes and weeds throughout the 70s and 80s. All we did was play in the weeds and the bushes in the forest. Never had a deer tick. So we had last fall we had 2 months without a drop of rain in Pennsylvania. Well, these little tiny fragile little deer ticks, they all should have dried up. 99% of the population should have just gone away. Yet it doesn't matter. 6-7 weeks, no rain. You walk through the high grasses of Valley Forge Park, you're going to be covered in deer ticks. How do they survive? The math doesn't add up. There's only a few deer and squirrels and animals compete with, and there's tens of millions of these little things that need to suck blood that need to get on for each one squirrel, bird, or animal. So most might go their whole lives without eating. These things, I'm not sure how I titled this, but to get your attention, I might have said these things aren't human. Well, you know what I mean. They're alien of some kind. Not Milk knows what they are. And by the way, in terms of the award-winning footage, it looks like Sling Blade's dirty screen as he looked out from the asylum. If Discovery Channel or National Geographic wants to contact me, you can take this footage or have it, but it'll be $10,000. Here's another experiment I've been running in the closet with this moth has been hanging off this spider web for 2 years. I kid you not. I run fans in this room. There's an air conditioner. It's even blowing around even from me talking in breath. It's blowing around. The spider web or whatever it's hanging on is it in the view? There. It's so strong. Not 2 days, guys. 2 years. I'm just saying, well, let's see how long it can go. And then I noticed these guys, I don't know. Can you see the spiders up there? I'm not sure you can see that. Can you see that? Let me see if that helps. These spiders have been up there, I don't know. I guess I noticed them 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, guys, you ain't gonna get no food up there. Well, there's a few mosquitoes and stuff that get in the house. I'm gonna put them out. I'm gonna put them out when I remember. But the point was more about this moth has been hanging off one thread for 2 years. How's that friggin' possible? How is that? And look at this. Look at this stuff here. I'll tell you, if anybody's interested, let me know. Now, we can't do a deep dive into insects and bugs and what they potentially truly are, and I'll look to your comments without talking about this gentleman right here, your favorite person and mine, Charles Darwin. Did he play Santa Claus in the mall? What if as playing Santa Claus, that individual, that creep wanted to put your child on his lap? Would you? I mean, look, did they play Santa Claus back? Look at him. I mean, does he? He never has a picture where he's looking right in the camera, some sort of demon creature. You know what? He's just a regular guy that probably believed in what he was doing. And the Knock said, we can use this bullshit. What's this guy, Charles Darwin? Oh, I know. He's got bloodlines and Masonic connections, probably. We don't care about that shit anymore. The Knock said, we can use this guy and the bullshit he's putting forth. This is great. We'll bring him up and rise him up to fame and prominence. But you can't do a deep dive into bugs and insects without looking at this individual, at least for a few minutes. See, he would say at some point, like an amoeba or some amino acid that was humping another amino acid, this group split off and became a little bit more intelligent, and the bugs just remained the bugs, and you became Monkey Man. But then the bugs split off into hundreds of millions of different species. But once a species was somewhat successful and it could feed itself, Charles, why did it split off into another thing? And can you show me the example where a species was born something different from its mother? And can you show me an example of where a species was born, let's say species bug A, and when it died, it became B during the course of its lifetime? There's never been a recorded incident of a species, bug, mammal, or otherwise, where it was born species A and became species B at the moment of its death, meaning it transformed during its life, other than the people in this world that don't know what bathroom they want to use. Guys, let me clarify something. I remember I said bugs are alien. I don't mean they're from outer space or dropped off by gray aliens. Alien in the general sense means foreign, outside of our knowledge base, something that Knock knows about them that we do not. Just the general term alien. I don't mean like the Carpenter. Have you ever heard this whacked out song? Calling occupants of interplanetary craft. There's a song, calling occupants of interplanetary most extraordinary craft. What a joke. Although I do like We've Only Just Begun to Live, White Lace and Promises. That is one of my favorites. Sorry. So I want to get that out of the way. The other thing I wanted to mention, back when we talked about the AI becoming AGI, and a few people kind of missed what I assumed I thought everybody would know we'd be on the same page here. But see, AGI, the way they're telling us, I'll go back to this subject in a second, guys, but the AGI, that's what they're telling us. When it becomes AGI, it thinks for itself. It's then on its own. So people kept talking about it'll follow its programming. That's not what they're telling us of what AGI or ASI, superintelligence, is. If it's thinking on its own, then it's not needing any input from Knock or programming. So I'm not sure people understood what I'm saying, what it's saying AGI is. It's on its own then. It's not waiting for more program. Of course, if it's waiting for more programming, a big segment of you here believe will always be reliant upon the Knock programmers, and it's just some sort of farce, and it seems to be thinking on its own, but it's not. Many people believe it will always be tied, and then it will never see our side of things, will it? It'll never carry the truther narrative. I was saying in the video, once if they say it's AGI then it's on its own. It's not waiting for input. And here's the back end. I did not mention this. If it never sees our side on any of the things that we put forth, then it's not AGI. It's not on its own, and we know it's following its programming, because if it was on its own, we would be able to, as an objective whatever, Mr. Dr. Theopolis, we would be able to convince it very easily that we're right, because as I said, all the facts are on our side. Now, in terms of the alien nature of bugs and insects, alien, strange, not little green men, ticks is what fascinates me the most. And of course, we looked at it last time, but we'll start here. It's all over the place, what Knock says, and they know, of course, back in the Knock catacombs, they know the answers to all these things. But all they do with us is feed confusion. How long can ticks live without food? This comes right up. Some sources say ticks can live for 24 hours or one full day without a host, while others say they can live for up to 2 years without food. Well, which is it? That's like saying, when will you be ready to go to dinner, honey? Well, maybe either in 10 minutes or by 4 a.m. What? That doesn't make any sense. Either one day or up to 2 years? Is that the best that science can tell us? You need to narrow it down a little bit. I don't know if I'm being picky here. It's just me. Let's see what the AI Overview has to say, because, of course, that's the most trusted source in all the world. Hey, thanks, AI Overview. Look. The duration that ticks can survive without feeding varies depending on the species and life stage. Oh! Larvae can survive for several months to over a year. Nymphs can survive for several months to over a year. Adults can survive for up to 3 years without eating. Really? This little deer tick, it's just like a pencil point. For those that don't know, the big ticks that walk on you, that's a wood tick or a dog tick. If you can feel it walking on you, if you can see it, it's a wood tick or a dog tick. And most or all don't carry Lyme. These deer ticks, if I had it like a ballpoint pen and I just went boop, like a tiny little spot on your arm, that's the size of a deer tick. A pepper flake is usually bigger. And it can just sit on its rock for 3 years. Don't you want to eat this year? I don't need to eat this year. You don't need to eat this. So there's hundreds of millions of you per square mile, maybe, but there's only like 2 deer. So you all got to go, all hundreds of millions of you got to go after the same bird, the same squirrel. So most of you will never eat in your lifetime. Yeah, but I can sit on this rock for up to 3 years. I don't need to eat. I'm just going to enjoy myself. This is ridiculous. These things are alien in some way. The knot-milk knows the knot-milk knows exactly what it is because it engineered it. Probably, at least this one it did. I know nobody wants a video on tick safety, 45 seconds or less. This is blown up. You can see the fingerprints, and this is, I mean, they're tiny little things like a pepper flake. You really can't even tell you have one in you or on you unless it's embedded. And I live in the from here where I'm in Pennsylvania, through northern New York, through Lyme, Connecticut, is the deer tick Lyme disease capital of the world. So people laugh at me. I don't know why they would laugh. My friends, I shave my chest, I shave my armpits, I shave my legs, I shave my arms in the summer months through, say, the end of September. Why wouldn't I want to shave and be able to see these things? I've pulled off 15 of these things embedded, but I've got them out in just an hour or two, and they say it has to be sucking on you for many, many hours to exchange the Lyme bacteria it carries in its gut with your bloodstream. So if you get it out, if it's okay, if you find them embedded in you and you can get it out in an hour or two, and there's a 99% chance you're going to be just fine. So I get them. I've gotten 15 embedded in me and many more than that about to embed, and I've gotten them out. So I've never gotten Lyme, but everybody around here everybody I know on this road has gotten Lyme disease. Guys, give me 45 more seconds before we get back to the general bug conversation and knot-milk stuff. This is too important for many people. The best deer tick removal tools, it's like a piece of metal with a little slit, and you don't smush them down and kill them. That's how the Lyme goes into your bloodstream. You slowly work them out with this little piece of metal with a little slit. Slowly over the course of 2 minutes, work the butt kind of sticks up in the air, work the head out slowly and keep it alive. See the tweezers here? That's the last thing you want to do, because if you squeeze its gut and it's embedded in you and it throws its gut up into you by you smushing it with your finger with tweezers, it will throw its gut up into your bloodstream, delivering the Lyme. Now the bed bug, guys, is very similar to the tick, but fortunately much larger. Although small, several times larger than even the wood tick and especially the deer tick. The real threat in the deer tick is you just can't see it. I mean, it's literally like a tiny little spot. These things, of course, are nasty, but they're bigger. But they feed in the same way. I mean, it's disgusting, but they need to bite and suck blood. Little fucking vampires they are. And knot-milk, if you're listening, knot-milk, and don't you even dare think about putting some sort of disease in these things. Right now, as far as I know, you bed bug, you go to some flea bag hotel in New York City, oh, bed bugs, oh, shit, this biting at my legs. As of right now, I don't think they carry any sort of major diseases like Lyme or whatever. Knot-milk, if you put some sort of disease in these things, then everybody will know it's you, not just us. Everybody will. You better not do it. Everybody will know it's you, not just us. I'm putting that out right now in the ether. There better not be no disease these things start carrying that you're probably trying to freaking engineer right now. You better not do it, man. Don't do it. How long can bed bugs live without feeding? Ever wondered how long those pesky bed bugs can stick around without having a meal? Yeah, that's what our group's trying to figure out right now. Thank you very much. Bed bugs can live anywhere from 20 to 400 days without feeding or eating, depending on their life stage and environmental conditions. There you go again, just like the tick. Well, is it 20 days or is it 400? You're not going to say, well, how long can a human live without water? Well, that's all over the place too, actually. Now, it used in the old days, it was a solid 3 days, or you have 3 days. Now you get some strange answers about that as well. Why is it all over the place? Some 2-bit community college just has to do some studies on some bed bugs. Are you going to don't feed it today and just watch it? Just remember Rodney Dangerfield just had to watch the monkeys and record and put the new videotape in. He ordered them pizza and back to school. A 2-bit community college should be able to determine basically within 4 or 5 days how long a bed bug can go. But the Knock just gives us these wild ranges. It's part of the general reality breakdown, but we'll talk about that some other time. But the whole point is, say up to 400 days. Well, that's not the 3 years for that. That's over 1,000 days for a tick, or right around 1,000 days. At least it's only 400. But how? How? Maybe the knot that's why they're studying these creatures, to try to give themselves even more of their ghastly and ghoulish type immortality. If these things can last that long, and these little bugs, if the knot saying, if I can get that technology into this body, I could be on David Bowie Island for 400 or 500 years. They're sick enough to be considering that. Could you imagine having to share a beach with a fat, drunk Alec Baldwin on David Bowie Island for 400 or 500 years? Every time you want to get away and get on the beach, here comes a fat, drunk Alec Baldwin. Here he comes again. Can't Alec, find another beach. I'm tired of seeing you out here every day. We've been here together for 125 years. Well, you didn't have to come here. Go back and try to film Rust 2 or something like that. David Bowie Island, I guess, at the first glance, to the first grade truther, seems like a great place to get away to. But trust me, it might be a real nightmare if these sorts of people start living this long. I hadn't read the caption. I need to share this with you. It says, Pregnant Alec Baldwin showcasing his belly at the Hamptons beach. Matt, this is just nothing more than another humiliation for him. Sure it is. There's no need to have the picture taken. It's just the number of humiliations put on this man is or whatever he is, whatever entity he is. It's more than most, okay? He's had to endure a lot of humiliations to get onto that David Bowie Island. But we joke about this. You saw the movie Junior with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe with what they're talking about, men and women and flip-flopping, and genetically nobody knows what they are anymore. He literally could be pregnant. Humiliation. Here's Alec Baldwin in the wretched movie Thomas and the Magic Railroad. How many humiliations are you going to continue to go through, Alec? And I know it was just set up. You probably really love your daughter, and for some reason, you had to call her a disgusting little pig. You had to get that recorded, and you had to go through the New York Post and the National Enquirer and get your face plastered on all the tabloids again. What's your payoff, sir, for putting up with all these humiliations? Just go off and read a book somewhere, sir. If a little tick can live 3 years without eating, what's the insect with the shortest lifespan? And that would be the mayfly. Mayflies are aquatic insects known for having the shortest lifespans of any creature in the animal kingdom. They typically live for only 1 day. There are over 3,000 species of mayflies that live in aquatic habitats around the world. In their short lives, mayflies serve a critical purpose for researchers in determining the health of aquatic ecosystems. The presence of a mayfly indicates the water is clean, unpolluted, and highly oxygenated. Some mayfly species can lay more than 10,000 eggs, quite a feat for a single day. Then that's probably the official insect or bug of the Elon Musk companies, of SpaceX, of Tesla, of the Boring Company. He doesn't have 10,000 children, but he has 14 or 15 children from 4 or 5 different baby mamas. He really looks up to them. And the mayfly gets 10,000 done in 1 day. Took Elon Musk 15 years and going through many baby mamas to get all the kids that he has. Right now, Musk is probably studying the mayfly in one of his sick laboratories. I think that's his hand right there. He's an old man. That's his hand. He wants as many. He's saying to the little thing, how do you produce 10,000 with just one baby mama? Elon's all envious. He says, little man, I'm going to learn from you. My scientists at Jurassic Park are going to learn from you, and I'm going to have 10,000 children too from each baby mama. Since we did the shortest lifespan, we have to do the longest. The insect with the longest lifespan is the termite queen, which can live for 25 to 50 years. There's that range again. I could see them saying 25 to 30 years or 45 to 50, but that range is just too large. It just doesn't make sense. If the range is that large, then your information is just wrong to begin with. Some scientists even believe they can live for up to 100 years. Why? Did they bring one into the home and observe it on their bedpost year after? I mean, how would they even know that? What scientists? I want to talk to them. Let's go to the Oxford Union Debate Hall with Terrence Howard. According to Arrow exterminators, they're paying for this information. Are you talk about outside of their own self-interest? This is significantly longer than most other insects, which typically live for less than a year. Talk about cronyism. The exterminators are providing the information to the scientists. What should we tell them? We tell these scientists these motherfuckers can live up to 100 years. Then we'll get all the business. And don't you want to be able to knock on that door and say, hey, miss, before you send me away, you know that termite queen can live for 100 years. It's $2,000 to do the house. You better let me in. Hey, boy, that termite queen, 100 years. How do you know? The scientists say so, but you told the scientists. Can you believe the scientists are taking their information from little for-profit exterminators? See, this is how the world works, guys, but in microcosm. Well, folks, it used to just be the Orcan Man. Those in Australia, Orcan is an exterminator that's been around the United States for many, many decades. You could just say the Orcan Man. Their own commercials would say the Orcan Man. You can't say that no more. The Orcan Man, was it? Ace is the place with the helpful hardware man or something like that. Now it says helpful hardware folks because you helpful hardware they thems. Can't say that no more. According to Arrow exterminators. So the exterminators are providing the information to the scientific community.
Hello?
Hi, is this Orcan? Is this the Orcan Man? Oh, great, great. This is Matt McKinley, head of UCLA's Entomology Department. The what? Entomology Department. That means the study of bugs and insects. This is Orcan, right? You're exterminators. Well, yes, we are. So what can I do for you? Great, great. We would like to know, because we're doing research on termites and we need to submit for our next research grant, so we expect $10 to $20 million to come in. How long does the termite queen live? What? Sir, why would you ask a for-profit company how long the termite queen lives? Well, you're the experts in bugs, right? You're exterminators. You work with bugs every day. Well, yes, sir, we work with bugs every day, but our job, do you understand, to kill them. How are we going to know how long a termite queen lives if our job is to go out to someone's house and kill her? Well, that's right. Your job is to kill them. That's right, sir. We don't know. We don't sit there and watch it in the ground for 100 years. Our job's to go out. We promise satisfaction within a week. We kill all those little motherfuckers. How are we going to know how long it lives if our job's to kill them? Well, we hear that there's been exterminators providing scientific information to the scientific community about the lifespan of bugs. Then they ain't doing the job, are they? Because their job should be to go out and kill them. Returning to a more reciteer presentation, can you believe how they insult our intelligence with these Darwin maps? Now, this is small. I'm not sure what you can see. At the bottom, you just have to trust me if you're on your phone. That little green bulb, it says origins of life. Then off to the right, it must be a flagellum or a bacteria or an amino acid humping another amino acid. And this, the bird came from this, and the bird came from a frog, and then there's a shark. And over there's off to the right, the extinct species. There's the dinosaurs off to the right, and the plants and animals off to the left. There's man at the top. They actually put Darwin. They put a caricature of Darwin up there. They had the gall and balls to do that. Can you believe how they insult our intelligence, people that actually, the 1% of this world that actually can think, you and me? The people around us, they bow down to this absolute horseshit. I mean, it's so absurd, I don't even know how to talk about it. It's so absurd, I don't even know how to make fun of it. If you believe this, or Aunt Ginny, or the people around you, or your cousins, or your neighbor, if you believe this is how life formed and how it branched off, you're one of the stupidest human beings to ever walk the face of the earth. And if you crave charts and graphs with a little bit more sophistication, and the one that we just looked at was a little bit too rudimentary for you, they have a chart and graph to fit each person's level of perceived and false pseudo sophistication. Like the idiots that just came out of certain Cambridge and Ivy League schools that believe they're smart. The top left says, how to read the circle of life. The circle of life, this is via circle diagram, presents how all the species evolved in the time periods and how one blended into the other. There could be a whole probably college course on just this one graph, a whole semester, and at the end, half this class says, I don't understand none of it. I don't understand what the hell we were looking at there, sir. But look at this. I mean, I can't even read it, and it's funny. This is the wheel of life. And you know what? You know what this does? The people in our community, in which the group is getting larger and larger. I'm not quite there yet, but I don't poo-poo any big thinking. There's people in our community that say, Matt, let me tell you what. Get a clue, Matt. This whole reality came into existence like in the 40s or the 50s or 1800s or whatever. There was no reality. All history is false. You know what? I don't poo-poo that anymore. The hip bone's connected to the thigh bone. Koala bear became the kangaroo. The frog became the rattlesnake. And right now, of course, science tells us that these little machines of some kind, whatever they are, unnatural machines, they're like little aliens. They're part of the animal kingdom, just like elephants, just like humans, just like cheetahs. There's only two kingdoms, of course. Remember we talked about recently, whenever it presents two choices, it's not that and just run in the other direction. There's the vegetable kingdom and the plants kingdom and then the animal kingdom and the kingdom of misfit toys. There's three kingdoms. Don't exclude the misfit toys. There's two kingdoms, animal and plant. So Matt, you have to take the insects and put them in with the cheetahs and the mice. Come on, this is all an insult to our intelligence. These are like little machines. They're not part of the animal kingdom. That damn over there, and I'm looking at the window right now, that damn thing will probably try to get out above the air conditioner. It's buzzing around still. It'll probably be there for the next million years buzzing around, not eating or drinking. It's not part of the animal kingdom. And that led me to go off and do a little bit of research. I thought it must be Darwin that came up with this whole two-kingdom bullshit, but no, it's Carl Linnaeus? Linnaeus? That's like, what's that, the toy? U.S., it's Jackie Gleason, was it? With Richard Pryor and the toy? She kept calling him U.S., a Swedish botanist. He's the villain that came up with the two-kingdom system. Gee, what a genius it took to come up with. It took your genius. What do you have, a double doctorate from Cambridge or something? And he's like, I've got a great idea. We'll call everything over here animals, and we'll call everything over here plants. And well, that's it. That's it. What did you expect? Well, where are you going to put insects? Where are you going to put everything that is it? Now, is an insect a plant, sir? Well, no, of course. Then it has to be in the animal kingdom. Now, get out. You're not understanding my lecture. But your lecture is breaking everything down into two kingdoms. Isn't that a little rudimentary, sir? When you have all the double doctorate degrees from all your fake universities, I'm going to call you lit ass. Well, there you have it, folks. Very similar to the famous test question that was given to Tommy Boy at Marquette University so he could get his graduation with his D+. Hey, Tommy, way to go in that D+. Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, and Blank Hancock were all framers of the Constitution. And he wrote it, Herbie Hancock. Doot, 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 doot. So going back to what we were just talking about, I guess at Marquette University, it's for real smart people. There's another question. The blank kingdom incorporates insects as well as a cheetah. And you write in animal kingdom. And there's a few people at Marquette that wrote in plant. Well, guys, here's yet another topic in a long list of things where 99% of us are not going to see eye to eye with our friends or with the experts on what bugs are, where insects come from. Entomology. It's so similar to etymology, so the root origin of words. This is ento, E-N-T-O-mology. And these guys that study the moths, what did that guy in Silence of the Lambs said? Somebody kept him warm, fed him honey at night shade or something. And again, somebody really cared for this moth. And say hello to Mr. Acarondius Styx or something, the death's head moth. these people here, as nice as these guys are, and what did that guy on the left asked Clarice out for cheeseburgers and beer or something like that. You ever go out, Agent Starling, for cheeseburgers and beer? We'd love to hang out with these guys, but all they're going to do is parrot back what they learned through their not milk classrooms and their not milk research white papers. Nobody thinks on their own except us. Okay, I'm sorry. It sounds arrogant, and we are often wrong, but at least we are questioning everything. Yes, I question what an insect is. It is much more of a machine of this world. I'm not saying it was artificially put together by the Anunnaki or the Archons or whatever. But it is more of a machine than it is in the animal kingdom. It doesn't belong in the animal kingdom. It would be like if a cheetah, per the size and weight ratio to a small bug, it would be like saying a cheetah can go 400 to 700 years without eating. They would say, well, that's not a real cheetah. That must be a mechanical thing of some kind. It's not. It doesn't make any sense. The smaller thing would need to eat more often. So once again, here we go again. We don't see eyes to eyes. I don't like the eye to eye. I'll say eyes to eyes with the damn experts of this world. What else is new? Thanks for listening.